Hi students, here's an introduction for our next unit. It's on exponents. So you may have heard this term before. Another way that some people say it, it's typically a British term, is indices. Okay, so exponents, indices, it's all the same stuff, and we are going to get into it and we're going to work with it all through Unit 2. Just so you know, during Unit 2 we will have one in-class task on criterion B, so investigating some patterns with exponents. We'll also have an in-class task on criterion D, so applying it to real life. And of course, a Unit 2 exam towards the end of the unit. So what are exponents exactly? So we're going to get into that. Exponents, the most typical exponent you've probably seen is something like this, x squared, right? Which is just x times itself. Or maybe 4 squared, right? Which is just 4 times 4. So we're going to talk about exponents, and we're going to talk about how the different terms we use to communicate exponents too. So first let's get into what the exponents, the different parts of the exponents are. We call the number here, we call that the base, the number or the variable. And then we call this part of the exponent, we call this the power. Okay, so in the example of 5 cubed, this will be our base, and this will be our power. So make sure you take notes on that. So how do we communicate with exponents? So a few different things that we can do. There are different ways that we like to say this, okay? So typically when you have something that has a 2 as the power, so something that's raised to the second power, we like to say x squared. So this is what we like to say, x squared. And when we have something raised to the third power, often we say x, or a in this case, cubed. So you can practice using those words. You'll get more used to them the more you use them. Whenever we have some other number, we typically say something like this. There are a few different things you can say. I'm going to write all of them here, and you can kind of decide how you want to say them. But you will hear me use all of these different terms in class. This would be c raised to the power of 5. That's one way you could say this. Or for this one, another way you could say this is h to the 22nd power. It's another way we can say it. And a little bit of a shortened version would be for the last one. We could say k to the 11th. So that's a bit of a shortened version. So actually all 5 of these things I've written here, we use all of those terms when we're talking about exponents. So just practice those and put those in your notes. Okay, so let's look at some calculations with exponents. So you might be able to do this one right off the top of your head. This means 5 times 5 2 times, so it means 5 times itself. So it's 5 twice, which of course is 25, a special squared number. This one means 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, so 4 times 4 gives you 16. And then 16 times 4.